firefighters were around just making sure that the area was kept safe. Now, there were firefighters guarding some businesses, firefighters guarding some construction workers. Here at MSU Billings, Halloween is all about community involvement. Dove says when you purchase art at the Art Barn, you support local. Putting on your seatbelt is as easy as saying your alphabet, and it should be one of the first things you do when you get inside your vehicle. Sergeant Eric Gilbert with the Montana Highway Patrol says not doing something as simple as buckling up can have a fatal consequence. The Yellowstone County Detention Facility is currently undergoing rehabilitation. Now, once that is completed, there will be an extra 88 beds. Now, Commander Lieutenant Roger Bodine says this may not seem like a lot, but in reality, it helps a great deal. Well, Thompson says it's not the physical strength that's important. It's the mental strength that's key to become a firefighter. Dispatchers work around the clock to keep the community safe, sometimes juggling 2 to 3 calls at a time. Well, now that Smart has rebuilt this car, you can purchase raffle tickets for $5 a piece or 5 for $20 to win it. All of the proceeds will be going towards Dan Landon's Kidney Transplant Fund. Take this piece of grass, for example. It actually has 2 rattlesnakes that are camouflaged inside. Gary Blaine and I flew in his Bell Jet Ranger and observed the current levels of the Yellowstone River at 12.5 feet and discussed the potential damage the river could have at the forecasted 15 to 16 feet. One of the things that you can try is called a soda wheel. You just go ahead and spin the wheel and find out what you win. Now, normally the kids are usually going for the pop, but we'll see how I do. And it says wink. If you're thinking about competing in Big Sky State Games next year, you might want to consider bowling. In Billings, Briana, Monte, Color 8 News. Last year, Marissa was only allowed to cheer for her team on the sidelines. Well, after a year's worth of hard work and dedication, the Batman Bear has finally been cleared to play this basketball season. It's been a goal for Marissa ever since she was diagnosed with leukemia, to get back on the basketball court at Rocky Mountain College for her senior year.
I just kind of had in my mind that I was going to come back and play basketball.
A passion she never gave up on, the Batman Bear worked hard towards her return to the court.
Like when I'd walk up to go get treatment done every day, I'd take the stairs instead of elevator, and just when I'd have bad days, I just kind of kept looking forward to what was coming in the future.
Marissa's oldest brother, John, recalls seeing her dedication.
Whenever her immune system would get back up, we'd try and get out, and we actually would go over to Rocky and shoot hoops.
I also spoke to her brother, Nick, to ask how he felt about his baby sister being able to once again do what she loves.
I'm elated about that, that she gets to play. Yeah. I mean, she spent the last, probably 10 months having to be sedentary. So through that whole period, looking forward to, getting back out and, getting back to her, final season of basketball as a senior at Rocky, that's pretty amazing.
This Batman Bear says she can't wait for that first game.
And I know for the very first game, I'm probably I hope not to cry, but I might cry, because it's just gonna be knowing where I came from and how many obstacles I've had to overcome this last year. It'll just be really gratifying.
If you had any hopes for the future for Marissa, what would that be?
Just she's happy, lives a full life.
Gotta take the window, clear the window, clear the sash, sweep the floor.
The training is called VEIS. Vent, enter, isolate, and search.
This is an advanced search technique, so when conditions in a structure are not working in our favor, but we have credible information that there's a victim in a certain part, then we have to kind of adapt and figure out other ways to gain access into that room, into that environment.
Sean Biggins is a training chief for the City of Billings Fire Department and says it is vital to train firefighters not for if circumstances should arise, but when.
In the past, we always taught firefighters to search a structure. We always taught them to go into a right-handed search or a left-handed search. Now we're teaching them to isolate compartments, search that compartment, come right back out the same way they went in.
This device is called a thermal imager. It's what firefighters use when rooms are too smoky, and it also helps find victims.
It's a different approach. We'll call it a backdoor approach to getting people out, viable victims out, much quicker.
Ryan Moore is an engineer firefighter. He says when firefighters do a search and rescue during a fire, time is of the essence.
If we know where somebody's at, it's just point A to point B.
There's a lot of plastics, a lot of synthetics that we're now buying and putting into our homes. That changes our fire environment. That changing fire environment also changes how we do our job. That's going to change how we access a building, how we search for victims.
In Billings, Briana, Monte, Montana, right now.
Good. Victims out. Good. Victims out.
Well, here at the Yellowstone drag strip, I'm about to go down the quarter mile, but tomorrow we'll kick off the truck and tractor pulls.
Well, what'd you think?
Oh my gosh, it was like nothing I've ever experienced. Speed, power, and trucks. That's what you'll find at the Big Sky Truck Fest. Randy Cole is the president and founder of the National Hot Rod Diesel Association, otherwise known as NHRDA. He says the first event will be the tractor pulls or sled pulls.
It is a dirt track that is 300 feet long. There is a sled that approximately weighs 40,000 pounds. A truck or a tractor will pull up, back up to it. We then hook a gigantic chain onto it. He pulls the tension out of it. When the lights go green, he has up to 30 seconds to start his pull.
Cole says this family-friendly event doesn't just have out-of-towners. Locals compete in the Truck Fest as well.
Especially in our work stock classes and our lower classes where that pickup truck was just picking up hay, 2-3 days ago. Well, now he's out here on the sled pull track or going down the quarter mile. Usually you'll see a local win in those categories.
Besides truck and tractor pulls, other activities you can see are drag racing, show and shine, dyno, and the burnout contest. NHRDA founder says the Yellowstone drag strip is a hidden gem.
You need to get behind this track because this is one of the better tracks in the United States, and a lot of people don't even know that it exists here.
In Acton, Briana, Monte, Montana, right now.